Welcome to Unity Bay Area, Houston on this fabulous second day of January 2022. Woohoo! Everybody pat yourself on the back. You made it. Yeah. Hallelujah. We're so grateful. Welcome to everybody joining us online now or at a later time as well. We are so privileged to be here right now, to be with all of you and to share this sacred time together. And as we begin today, we share our affirmation from this morning's daily word. And I invite you to join me as we open our hearts and claim this for ourselves. Together, clarity. Time spent with God brings me clarity. So let's open to the clarity in our heart and soul as we begin and rise and join in the opening song with Ellen Rogers and Patty Rabaza today. Thank you very much.
Please rise. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
3, 4. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm at the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Are you in the right place?
Yes.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Woo!
Nope, we didn't touch it, sister. Nope. Try it now. Speak. Hello. I think it's the battery, Carol.
All right, now we can hear me, yay!
Yay.
Thank you, AV team, AV gods, right? I am Dawn Pence. I'm so glad to be here with you today. Let us begin our service together as we affirm our statement of truth. There is one presence and one power in the universe and in me, God the good omnipotence. Prayer is the basis on which Unity was founded. Our prayer chaplains pray for you for 30 days. If you put in a prayer request, 30 days. And after that, they're sent to Silent Unity to be prayed on for an additional 90 days. So that's 120 days of solid prayer. We have prayer request forms in the back. They're on the back table. And Trish and Eugenia are our prayer chaplains today for those who would like to pray in person. All right. And then for our digital viewers, if you have a prayer request, please click on the button Request Prayer in your bulletin. After the service today, for those who are here in person, we're actually going to do a prayer circle. Anybody who would like to join us, we're going to come up to the front, and Trish is going to lead us in a prayer circle. If you still want one-on-one prayer, Eugenia will be available in the prayer by the prayer room in the back for one-on-one prayer. So just know we're really excited to start offering that today. All right, we're still working on mic, so I'm talking to the people in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Trading.
All right. Can you hear? There we go. All right. We're in business. For those of you who are at home who didn't hear what I said, what I was saying is that if you have a prayer request, you can click on the button Request Prayer in your bulletin. Now, let's join Reverend Kyra in prayer.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Thank you for everybody's patience. We're getting that opportunity to learn how patient are we willing to be in January. And being in 2022, we get to open ourselves to the realization right now by sharing of the God presence that brings us the good in all ways. So take a moment to join me in prayer right now. Just close your eyes and gently turn within. And find that sacred space where you feel the power and the presence of the light of truth. Feel the power of that one divine light, that Christ essence, that divine high vibration, the vibration of the divine I am, the God consciousness. By whatever name or knowing, we open ourselves to this spirit that is infusing us and all that we are up to throughout this year. But we feel it in every now moment. And we say thank you. Thank you to this infinite presence, this divine source that is sourcing us and bringing forth its greatest good into our world, moment by moment by moment. We open to the awareness of living from the God essence and experiencing that all is the divine in expression. All is the divine in expression in every experience, every creation of the earth and the sky and the waters and the infinite selves that we express as. We know that we are one with this source, and we are grateful, grateful, grateful. Here now, we say yes. I am willing to be that presence of the divine. I am willing to feel the power of that life energy, that essence of God in all of creation, and reflect it back into the world. And we are grateful, and we say, ah, yes. Together, ah, yes. And so it is. We set this energy here now. Back to you, Don.
Yeah. That's lovely. Thank you so much, Kyra. This week's announcements and all links to participate can be found in your Sunday e-bulletin, which was sent this morning at 7 a.m. For our in-person folks, please visit the connection table, which is on your way into the building, and that'll have sign-up sheets for everything I'm going to be talking about now. All right. The Unity Women's Ministry and Potluck will meet at church again this Tuesday, January 4th at 6 p.m. Join us as Susan Devine, did I say it right? Yeah, Susan Devine shares decluttering strategies that'll support the new year and new beginning. Yeah, I love that, yeah. I know for me, when I declutter, I feel so much better. It's like decluttering the place, decluttering the mind, right? The Unity Men's Group will meet at Abe's Cajun Market. It's on Clear Lake City Boulevard at 6:30 on Tuesday, the 4th. All right, shining from within. Does anybody here want more peace and joy in their life? Anybody here, right? That's what Shining from Within workshops are about. It's about discovering what's blocking you from feeling peace and joy and from being who you're born to be. So I came up with this morning. Here's an analogy that might help explain this workshop series. Who here has a smartwatch or has tracked food on an app or counted calories, right? And you thought you were doing really well until you saw how few steps you took, how many calories you ate. My watch yells at me and says, get moving, right? So that's about your physical health. These workshops are to create awareness of your emotional health. So it could be that you have a lot of negative self-talk going on, or you're easily irritated by others. Or it could be that you don't know how to say no, or you blow up easily. It could be that you struggle with self-care, or you don't even know where to start with that. It could be that you talk and you feel unheard, or you're afraid to say what you really think. If you identify with any of these statements, and these are the workshops for you, you'll learn awareness of things that affect your emotional health and learn skills to improve it. So the first workshop of this series is this Saturday, 6 days, January 8th. It's from 10 to 2 here at the church, or you can join us on Zoom. And it's a great overview of what we'll be learning in the series, and it is full of aha moments. The last day to register is this Tuesday, January 4th. You can email me at dawnpence@outlook.com, or if you're here in person, you can sign up on the sign-up sheet. So that's Shining from Within. We are happy to announce that Armand and Angelina are back to Unity Bay Area Houston as our Sunday speakers and music team next Sunday, January 9th. Yes. Please sign up to bring a potluck item to share after the service and plan to stay for the concert. The Great Unpause is what they're calling it. And then step into 2022 with a Unity class and Tandem Sunday series. Reverend Kyra will begin teaching 12 Powers on Wednesday, January 12th at 7 p.m. This 6-week credit class is open to anyone wanting to dive deep into Unity teachings. And then is Unity Bay Area Houston your home church? It is time for our 2022 membership drive. Reverend Kyra will be teaching an Intro to Unity class, which is required for membership to our community. There's 2 opportunities to take the class: Tuesday, January 18th at 7 p.m. or Saturday, January 22nd at 10 a.m. Please sign up and let Reverend Kyra know which date you prefer to attend. Please be encouraged to invite friends and family to experience our events and services. Share the love you receive and keep it growing. Now, please join me for our vision, mission, values, and affirmation. Our vision is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of a shared spiritual awakening. Our mission is to inspire minds, awaken hearts, and empower lives through the teachings of Jesus Christ and other expressions of universal truth. In all that we are and all that we live, we value unconditional love, connection, authenticity, inclusivity, trust, and compassion. We are living relevant spirituality now.
Beautiful. Please rise, choir of angels. I'm opening up in sweet surrender. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one.
Yes. Your presence here today is precious to all of us. Thank you for checking us out and joining us this morning. We know some folks are joining us for the very first time. We thank you for checking out Unity Bay Area Houston. If you would like more information about our community and our Unity teachings, you may connect with the greeter. Domingo's in the back there. After the service, or if you're online, you can contact us through Messenger on our Facebook page, Unity Bay Area Houston. If you're looking for a spiritual place to be renewed and lifted, we would love to welcome you. And if you're here for the first time, please raise your hand. Yay! Welcome. All right, we've got some newcomers today. That is wonderful. That just fills my heart. We have something we'd like to give you, each of you, that tells you a little bit more about us, but mostly we'd like to welcome you. So together, let's share our welcoming blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Oh, doesn't that feel good? I know. Now, thank you. Right back at you. I love that spirit. Now let's center in to receive today's daily word from John V. Oh, I'm not John. I'm sorry. Who's reading it today? Oh, Eugenia. Eugenia. Thank you. Sorry, Eugenia.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I just want to take a second to wish each one of you the best of your spirituality in the year 2022. And blessings from the bottom of my heart to you. Okay, now I'm going to read the word of the day, Sunday, January 2, 2022, and the word is clarity. Time spent communing with God gives me clarity. When I gaze towards the heavens on a moonlight night, I expect to see twinkling stars and constellations. But if I use a telescope, I can see details with much greater clarity. This example could describe my spiritual life as well. I may go about my day mindful of my blissful feelings in kinship with all the people. These things and more are the fruits of my faith. But I find clarity during times of intentional contemplation. When I meditate upon the truth, I feel the presence of God fill my consciousness and touch my heart. This clarity informs my thoughts, words, and actions, bringing my faith to vivid life. This is the word of the Lord from the Bible. For now, we see in a mirror dimly, but then we will see face to face. Now I know only in part, then I will know fully, even as I have been fully known. 1 Corinthians 13:12. May God bless you.
Thank you, Eugenia. Beautiful. Yeah, we love, give her some love. We are a little different order of things today as we create our white stone ceremony this morning. And so I want to invite us, we will at this time open to our Lord's Prayer from an Aramaic translation, but our meditation will be happening during the midst of our white stone ceremony. So I invite you just now to open your heart and your mind and your being and feel the power of these words of our Lord's Prayer from a translation that brings it into our oneness and awareness at this time. So together, beloved oneness, breathing life of all, holy is our essence. Create your reign of unity now. Your one desire acts with ours and vibrates light to form. Fulfill this day all need for bread and insight. Forgiveness releases us, and we remember wholeness. We are free from inner and outer deception and walk your path with joy. You are the power of these truths and unite my words, thoughts, feelings, and actions through this prayer. In gratitude, my heart knows it is so. Amen. And yes. We feel that all through us. And now we turn it back over to our beautiful music team.
Rolling river God, little stones are smooth, only as the water passes through. And so I am a stone, rough and grainy still. I'm just trying to reconcile this river's chill. But when I close my eyes, I feel you rushing by. I know time brings change, and change takes time. And when the sunset comes, my prayer might be this one. You might pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hands. Sometimes raging wild, sometimes swollen high. Never have I known this river dry. The deepest part of you, dear Lord, is where I want to stay and feel the sharpest edges fade away. But when the sunset comes, my prayer might be this one. I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when I close my eyes, I feel you rushing by. So please pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hands.
Woo! Thank you, Ellen and Patty. Moves our soul. Are you ready to be a little smoother this year? To be smoothed out by the changes and the experiences that we've carried forward. So as we begin this time, we are coming out of, this old year. We're coming out of our burning bowl last week where we released all those things that we wanted to release for 2021. And we now are a clean slate. We're in a new place, a place to begin this year and begin to move forward in ways that bring forth a new dynamic in our world, our new dynamic within ourselves. Are you ready for that? Okay. Everybody breathe. Let go of the old. Yeah, let it out. We're going to open up to the new breath. And I want us to begin by breathing together for a moment, just to go deep into ourselves, into our breath, and know that each breath is the renewal, the revival of our true essence, of the life-giving force of the breath of life. So just take a moment and let go, and then let's breathe in together. And then let it go. Let's do that again. And one more. And as we allow ourselves to continue just breathing naturally, we recognize that the divine is breathing us. That we don't have to focus on our breath, but it is a natural thing for us to be breathed by the divine. And when we begin to understand and open to the awareness that we are living in a system that is working through us with magnificence, knowing automatically what to do to bring us to our greatest health, our greatest wholeness, our greatest freedom, our greatest sense of who and what we are. All we get to do, yeah, I love that, thank you, is that what we get to do is open ourselves to that awareness that the Spirit of the light, the Spirit of truth, the Spirit of God is moving through us. And when I open to myself to that awareness, I also open to begin to listen more to what is that movement of spirit and how is it moving my life? How is it guiding me each and every moment? Now that means we sometimes get our mind out of the way. Have you noticed? You know, the talkative little chatter of the judge and jury that wants to be up there. You know, we get to let that go, because in this now moment is all that we need. This moment, everything that is here for us will guide us perfectly, will move us forward. And as we begin to listen, we begin to hear the messages of our soul that are moving us continually. You know, we are working with the white stone ceremony today. And this is a tradition that comes out of Revelations. And in Revelations, what it says, this was written around 95 Common Era, so 95 years after Jesus' death. Then they were putting together those stories and messages that were passed down orally prior to that. And these stories were about understanding the greater significance of the spiritual power that was available to each one of us through Jesus' example and by him demonstrating for us what is it that we're here to be and do? How are we to live into these new revelations and create a new experience, a new Jerusalem, a new experience of peace and harmony in our inner being and in our outer world? This is the representation of the New Jerusalem of Revelations. It's actually a place of inner peace. It's a place of harmony in the world. It's a place of understanding. It's a place of awareness. Are you ready for that to be a reality? All right, we are the ones responsible for creating it, yes? All right, so we create our own peace, our own sense of harmony, our own realization of the divine that is in everything. So as we listen to this scripture, we're going to break it down in a few minutes to really get the depth and the meaning and the meatiness out of it, the juiciness out of it. So I invite you to, first of all, just listen to the message here. Let anyone who has an ear listen to what Spirit is saying to the churches. To everyone who conquers, who overcomes, I will give some of the hidden manna. And I will give a white stone, and on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. Whew, breathe that in. So we have an opportunity here, first of all, to say, what does it mean to listen? What is it? Is it our outer ears that we're listening, or is it our inner awareness with which we're listening? Listening is a whole being experience. So it includes the body, the mind, the emotions, the spirit. We're all of us to pay attention. We are given our 5 senses to experience the world more powerfully. And so those are powerful tools for us to use in this process. But we're also given the tools of an intuitive knowing, of a listening that goes as an inner eye, turning within, deepening our contemplation, opening to an awareness that is beyond the outer senses. We all have this already at the core of our being. We already are attuned to the true spirit of life, the spirit of truth. And yet what we're learning is, how do I more powerfully access and live from that space? To listen deeply in each now moment, not just in the moments of meditation, but we live that. It's like we talk about our particular, what are they called, values, our values. We say that we live these values. It's all great to profess them, but what is it to be a living presence that represents those values and who we are being each day? So when we are in a listening, we're listening with our whole being. And as a result, we begin to hear different messages when we're just listening to the clamor of the world. And so our journey in this process is to listen to what Spirit is saying. See, this is the message, and what am I listening to, right? There's a lot of things to listen to in the world. I mean, I love music, so I'm going to be listening to music a lot. I'm listening to what's happening around me, but I'm also listening to the whispers of the wind. And I'm listening to the skimmer of the squirrels, or the chatter of the consciousness of this planet, of Mother Gaia, of what she has to say in her wisdom. Or what is it to listen to my ancestors, to feel their presence moving through me and what they would desire for our greatest good? So what are we listening to? Have we turned to the spirit within to listen with our inner ear, our inner awareness? To notice that when we give ourselves the willingness to listen deeper, more profoundly, more expansively than we've ever listened before, we will receive new messages. We will receive a greater awareness to be able to walk through the world in alignment, in a conscious awareness, in a mindfulness that begins to create a different reality because it emanates out from us. And it will go before us and create peace and harmony in our wake, the wake that goes before and the wake that goes beyond. We are a vibrational frequency, and what are we listening to in a vibrational way that is a match to the infinite source, to the unlimitedness of creation, to the ability to be one with this creative source? See, we are all of that, and yet we have the opportunity at this point to really begin to listen, and it begins with our willingness. To be willing to have ears to hear, to be willing to hear the messages of our soul, of our spirit. So we develop this by quieting that monkey mind. You know, that monkey mind, that intellect that wants to tell us everything that it knows. It thinks it knows a lot. Have you noticed? And I honor the intellect, but I want it in the right order. I want it in the order of it is a servant to the soul, to the spirit, to the divine that I am. And as a servant to the spirit, that intellect will then move me in ways that I may not have perceived otherwise. And so we also open to this inner listening when we acknowledge our Christ presence and our Christ self. That means I honor and celebrate who I am, that I am a divine emissary. I am an expression of that light, that love, that wisdom, that grace in this world. We have often been taught other things, but it is time to know that the old is done. The old is gone. The old world, the old energy systems, the things that we have felt have plagued us in the past are done and over. And we are now being called to resonate with the new vibration of our true essence and our true selves, to truly claim our Christ self, to know that I'm willing to be a living, loving Christ presence here and now in this world. Will you be that with us? Absolutely. When we do that, see, this is, and everyone who conquers, remember the scripture? It says everyone who conquers is then given the new name, is given the hidden manna. We're given these gifts when we conquer the self-doubt, the fear, the smallness that we've identified with that is not the truth of our being. And it is time for us to identify not in a kind of way. All right? A lot of us have played a kind of way. All right? Oh, I'm going to kind of know that that sounds true for you, but I'm not ready to claim it, right? It is time for us to step boldly into this new time, into this new year, into this new experience, and begin to recognize that the overcoming is overcoming the idea that I'm anything less than the true Christ Spirit here to express that presence in this world. So that's my overcoming. That's the place where I become the conqueror of the doubt and the fear that has held us in bondage in this planetary consciousness. And we have been clearing it by all the times we've turned to meditation. By all the times we've turned to a place of deep peace and harmony and connected to the true knowing of our spirit. Yesterday, we had a beautiful experience here with another church, that their church wasn't quite ready to have this incredible ordination ceremony. And they're a high vibrational science church. Some of you have met Pastor Robert Hudspeth that has led this, and he spoke here, I think, back before I was here. I know he talked about how we supported them as they were getting started in their ministry and thanked us for that. And as they were doing this beautiful ordination ceremony of those in their ministry, it was just really moving. But the thing that was so powerful to recognize is every one of them that got here and talked to me beforehand walked in and said, "Oh my gosh, there is such a presence here." They went into the gardens and they're like, "Oh, this is just carries such energy and vibration and light and love." And I said, there's been a lot of meditation here and there's been a lot of power of that presence. See, it doesn't just permeate the moment that we're in. It literally anchors into this realm a vibrational experience by our choosing to be highly connected. For our choosing to know peace, even for a moment, it begins to permeate everything around us. And others walk into that presence and they feel it. They'll feel it with you. They'll feel it with this place. They'll feel it in the ways. But it begins with us being willing to go to that place of meditation, to that divine space where we open to the expansiveness of the universe. So we have to overcome our own anxieties. We don't really have to overcome them. We have to allow them to dissipate. We have to allow them to no longer have a stronghold in our consciousness. And that is, everyone, every day has this opportunity to choose, where do I listen? What is it that is given to me? Now, we also are going to work on the 3 promises that are given in this particular scriptural passage, because there are 3 promises that are given to us. So the first one is, to everyone who conquers, I will give some of the hidden manna. And I will give a white stone, and on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. So the first promise is hidden manna. You know, we all have times that we wander in the wilderness. And in our scriptures, our beautiful souls were wandering in the wilderness. Have you been there? Have you felt lost? Have you felt separate? Have you had times where you've had fear or anxiety or wondering what's the world coming to? How are we going to get through this experience or that experience? And we begin to create, and have you noticed when you have those thoughts of fear or anxiety, they kind of spiral on themselves and suddenly we have a whole anxiety attack over what's happening, right? And we've generated a consciousness. In Charles Fillmore Teachings in Unity, we would teach that there's a stratified field of consciousness. And what happened in it, it got hardened. But the Christ came in, Jesus came in to break through that stratified consciousness, to show the way, to melt away that anxiety, that fear, that consciousness of negativity and doubt and considering ourselves less than what we are, less than unlimited. So in that process, he helped show us the way for us to follow, for us to live into the awareness that we can break that bondage to an old idea, to even if it's at a subconscious level. Now, I want you to get this. We work at this consciously, but then we call on the divine, and this is how we conquer that. We call on the divine to take away the subconscious thoughts or beliefs or ideas that have continued to keep us perpetuating the same experience. And the moment we break through, we are given the hidden manna. Now, hidden manna, what is that? What is that? That's our daily bread, right? Our daily food. But what is it? See, Jesus told us in his demonstration, I have food that you know not of. What is the food? He had the hidden manna, an understanding that what is feeding me, is nourishing my soul, nourishing my being, is that connection to the divine that is never severed. But we get to choose to remember it. And in the remembering, the minute we remember it, we have the fullness of that spirit alive in us because it's always been there. We've just turned our attention because we conquered the noise and quieted it to say yes to that spirit that is feeding and nurturing and fulfilling us in every moment. And so we are being called to say yes, to turn that willingness, to get the hidden manna. Now, the second part of this is that we actually are given a white stone. Now, it's important to understand what that represented in the times of Jesus. In those times, anyone who had been in prison, when they were released, they were given a white stone that represented a clean slate, that they could take on for themselves the rights of a free person. They had already fulfilled their duty to the bondage that they'd experienced, and now they were completely free, set free to start anew. All right? And we are being set new to start anew. And when our white stone is given to us, it is to recognize we no longer carry any burden of the past and need to pay our dues. Anybody felt like they needed to pay their dues in this life at times? Or felt like, oh, but I have regrets over this. I have unforgiveness or places that I feel like I need to go make right these things. Now, I'm not telling you don't do that if that's what you feel called to do. But if you can know in this moment, without a doubt, that you are set free, that there is no bondage to any past, and this is a new day, a new you, a new awareness that I have been given eternal freedom, an inner freedom that cannot keep me in any time, in any way, limited. We love you. You are just awesome. And we feel the power of this within ourselves. So when we let go of false ideas of limitation, beliefs that would keep us seeing and judging others as separate, or believing that somehow we could ever be separate from this world or from one another or the creative energy of the universe, then we begin to live from that white stone experience. Now, the third promise is a new name. A new name. Now, what is a name and why do we talk about a name? You know, we talk about Jesus from a variety of ways in Unity. We teach there's Jesus, the man of Nazareth, who walked upon this earth. We teach there is Jesus, the Christ, who took on the mantle, the awareness of his Christ consciousness. And then there is Christ Jesus, who rose above the world, who resurrected and ascended into the awareness that he allowed his Christ essence to be that which was the nature and the name of who he was being in this world. And that nature and that name had a totally different ability to transform life within and life around. It is the place where we transform our own health and wholeness. We transform our ability to be present with one another in powerful, meaningful ways, and our ability to know the Christ power within us. And so the hidden name, the new name that we're given, is the name that is empowering us to be all that we're created to be. Now, some of you may have in advance thought about names. You thought about a name that you think, or a word that you think you're given for this year. And I'm going to ask you to let it go. Because what we often do, we get the intellect involved first. And we're going to ask that intellect to say, let it go. You are being given today a new name, and we're going to go through a meditation process for this. Because this is about our claiming, who am I called to be in this new year? What message is mine to live from that new name? It may be a word, it may be a phrase. And I will tell you, when my mind does it, it comes up with something that makes a lot of sense, right? When my soul does it, sometimes I've had to lean into that word throughout the year. I had to allow it to unfold its true nature inside of me, for it to inform me and guide me in a way that I didn't even understand at the beginning of the year. So those words sometimes are not what we would think. I think I've shared in other years that I had one year my word was aha. And I had to go, aha, and what is aha, and how do I live into that, and what does it mean? And it invited me into the wonder and to experiencing the aha available to me in every moment, in every circumstance, in every situation. And so another year, my word was into. What? I was like, Spirit, really? That's what you're giving me? But the truth was what that word, it invited me into myself, into the inner experience of everything that I encountered. You know, I was expecting a word like bliss, or a word like, freedom, or, into, wow, okay. And as we open ourselves to the message of our soul that is inviting us to dig deep into this new nature. See, a name represents our nature. And that name that we're being given, that new name, is what is the nature of our becoming our true selves? What is the nature of us that is an unfolding blossom that we cannot perceive the full fragrance of until it does the blossoming, right? But we can see the beauty and magnificence of the bud that is in it. And so I invite you, as we go through this time of meditation and open to our new name, let go of any previous ideas the mind has had. And I gave you both paper and a stone. So if those of you that feel like maybe you're not quite there yet, you can write it on paper and take it with you and take the stone with you. And then those online, you can write on paper and then come and get a stone when you're ready, or ask us for one and we'll get one to you. But in whatever way, to open ourselves to the realization that it may reveal itself in a different moment. It may be that it comes to you this day. It may not. You may have to sit into it, and you may have different things that play out to get the mind out of the way. And then the settling in, the aha, the realization of our true, what it is our true nature is to be this year, what message is calling us, will pop in a way that is undeniable to you. So that's the realization. Oh, this is undeniably mine, even if I don't like it, even if I kind of have some like, what? There is an undeniable part of that. So I invite us, as we move into this time of meditation, that we surrender our human identity. This is the part that Christ did. This is the part that we're called. How do I surrender? Yeah, so does anybody not have their stone? I think Kate's going to get her stone. Anybody else not have your stone and a pen? Okay, we need a couple up front here also. If somebody would also bring them up front for our guests. And so everybody can have paper and stones and pens and all that good stuff. Anybody else need them? We've got two we need up here. All right. Thank you so much. I know they're going to come forward with those in just a second. They're getting them for you all. And we're going to begin this journey by opening ourselves. Opening ourselves to the realization. There we go. They're bringing up stones and paper up here. You guys got them? Okay. Anybody else need paper or anything else with it? Okay. All right. Important. So this is a time as we open ourselves. Who am I called to be in this coming year? We can invite ourselves. If I really recognize that I don't know myself, I only know myself based on history, based on the past. And if in this moment I'm stepping into something new, I don't know. I don't know myself. Okay, everybody breathe, drop your shoulders. You know, we like knowing, don't we? And what we're supposed to know is that we're stepping into the unknown realm where we are being re-acknowledged, recreated. So this new character you intend to cultivate in the coming year may be connected to what you released in the past. Or it just may be that there's something new calling you completely. So I invite you to take a moment to just drop into this sacred space, to turn your eyes inward, quiet the mind, or invite it just to step aside. As we do so, we deepen our inner knowing and our inner awareness, and we invite that awareness of the Christ self, of the true spiritual essence of the I am, to be that which informs us now, that moves through us with an awareness of a divine love and wisdom. And we begin to listen and open, listen and open. We open our imagination. We allow wisdom to be the voice that speaks. We give our ego a few minutes off. And we go to the divine, holy voice that comes through. So, as you do this, open yourself to the experience of the now. And we're going to turn into the silence just to quiet and open to that divine awareness. We call on the angels, the guides, the Christ awareness of you, to be that which guides and nurtures you to that which is yours to understand and receive this day. Let me be receptive. I am receptive. I am willing. I am open. And I am surrendered. Breathe that out. And turn into that sacred silence within. And listen. 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 In the silence. If you've experienced an awareness of a new name, you may write it on your stone quietly. If you've not received yet, you just open yourselves deeper. Know that Spirit reveals my true essence. God in me reveals my next step. The God as me lives joyous and peaceful, a fulfilling life, and my name will be known in due time. I am willing. I open. I surrender. Begin to notice the vibration within you. Are you vibrating with alignment, with harmony, with awareness, whether you have your new name or not? In this emptying and receiving, we open to a higher vibration that is moving us forward, that is reawakening a new reality, one that has existed eternally, and yet we are awakening to the mantle of this calling in our soul. Sometimes the word can bring up a little fear, can challenge our willingness. And we breathe into those moments, to those spaces, to any of the doubt or the fear or the struggle, and just know, I know what I need to know when I need to know it. Or you can just shorten it to, I know. The I am in me is realizing and bringing this infinite self into an embodied awareness. Begin to feel the buzz in your solar plexus, in your heart, in your throat, in your third eye, in your crown chakra, and up beyond into the infinite side of your nature. And it forms a loop flowing down through the first chakra, the second chakra, your creative center, your grounding. And all of this energy continues to loop through you. And you vibrate with a new name, a new knowing of who you are, of who you are called to be. And you feel that vibration lighting up your being from the inside. Whether you know that name or not, hold it sacred to you, to let it unfold its awareness, its truth, its guidance for you throughout this year. And we say, yes. You can put this name on your stone, and somewhere you see it continually. You can write it on pieces of paper and post it around. You can put it on your phone with a reminder to remember my new name, my new nature on an ongoing basis. So whatever it is in you, let it begin to recreate your life, your presence, your love, your essence in this world. To know this is your Christ self calling you home. And we have a year of coming home to a true essence and living from it ahead of us. And wow, does that have some remarkable opportunity with it when we are being authentic and true and living from our higher self. Let the world stand up and take notice. We are here to be that divine God self in every moment. God bless you, friends. I am honored to be in your presence. And so it is. You can applaud yourselves. Yeah. Woo! And so this is the time that we do share of our gifts and our offerings. And as we prepare for that, I want to share a couple of things briefly. And one is I want to just acknowledge and thank you all. As we know, we were going through some challenges leading into the last quarter of the year financially. And I want to say that this community really rallied. And we want to thank everyone for end of the year gifts, for all the ways that you give in the different ways, those electronically, those that give online, those that send their checks in the mail, those that are here giving of their source and their substance. Because we know it's the divine that always, when we claim and know the truth, that it will flow its abundance through us. And we don't have our final numbers. We're still closing out all the books. But it looks like we're pretty close to breaking even for the year. And having been at a $32,000 deficit, that's tremendous. And I just want to say thank you to feel the power of that wealth, of the commitment to this ministry to keep us going, to flourish these grounds. And if you haven't seen the new, I guess what's it called, pagoda, the pavilion going up, it's so exciting to see that coming together. And what we know is that we're here to flourish. And that is the representation of this year. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for honoring yourselves and your commitment to your divine prosperity and flow of abundance, because that is a place where we live from a generosity that knows that we are sourced eternally by this ever-flowing source, and we are grateful for that. I'm going to share one other thing briefly. There's I think it's down here. There are some kids that every year they save up their tithe to give to us at the end of the year. And I think it's a wonderful demonstration of what their family has taught them, to have a tithing consciousness, to recognize we give the first fruits back to God. And so they save it up, and at the end of the year, they come in with their money to give their tithe for the year. And they have written us letters. And so one of them from little Layla says, I had a lot of fun here this year. I really like the church, and let's see if I can read all that. And something. Oh, and the camp, the summer camp. I spent most of the time having fun, and I liked the Christmas party. I got to have fun with fun this year. I think fun is her theme. Have you noticed? I have fun doing meditations in the Fillmore building. We have really fun meditation cards. And so she said, thank you and love you, Layla. And is that beautiful? I love that she's having fun learning meditation. Isn't that powerful and empowering? And then this one, I believe, is from, I think this one's from Phoenix. And she says, thank you so much for everything the church has brought me and taught me. Even though it has been a tough year, it has definitely been a journey. I have learned so much through the power of Christ. I love coming to church and learning new lessons and then going and walking through the garden. I can't wait to learn even more of these things this year and the upcoming years as well. This is what we're here for, right? Yeah. To help others remember who they are. And so this last one is from Story Blanton, and I'm going to share it too. It says, Dear Church, I really enjoyed coming to church. Sometimes I couldn't make it every Sunday, and when I didn't, I missed spending time there with the other kids in the youth group. I enjoyed helping at the summer camp with the littles, and thank you for making time for my time spent here wonderful and worth it. And that's from Story Blanton. So as we give our gifts, let's do it in the heart and the spirit of that little child that is so innocently, divinely inspired and grateful for everything that we are given in life. And so as we share these, let's share our offering blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And our ushers are going to bring that forward. Thank you so much. And there are lots of ways to give. You can text 281-595-1648, email, go onto the website, all the different options. So we thank you for all of them.
By all the things I've done, afraid my shame would be exposed, afraid of really being known. But then you gave my heart a home, so I walked out of the darkness and into the light, from fear of shame into the hope of life. Mercy called my name and made a way to fly out of the darkness and into the light. Years of keeping secrets safe, wondering if I could change. 'Cause when you're hiding all alone, your heart can turn into a stone. And that's not the way I want to go. So I walked out of the darkness and into the light, from fear of shame into the hope of life. Mercy called my name and made a way to fly out of the darkness and into the light. There's no place I'd rather be. Your light is marvelous, your light is marvelous. You have come to set us free. You are marvelous, your light is marvelous. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. So I walked out of the darkness and into the light, from fear of shame into the hope of life. Mercy called my name and made a way to fly out of the darkness and into the light. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Thank you, Patty. That was lovely. All right, let's share our blessing on our gifts, these that we've received here and all the ways we're receiving them. Sandra, come on up and let's just bless those babies. Yeah. They're babies, perpetuating more babies. How about that? So let's bless them. We celebrate divine abundance. We gratefully live, breathe, and experience abundance and generosity. Thank you, God, for the flow of resources through our ministry to bless the world. We rejoice as all our prayers are answered. We are grateful, blessed, and prosperous. Yes, we are. Let's join together for our closing song, and then we will do our prayer for protection, following which we'll have our first of the year. We're going to do our first prayer circle up front for anybody that wants to join. Our prayer chaplains will be offering, there will be, Eugenia, I think, will be in the back available for one-on-one prayer, and Trish will be leading a prayer circle up here for anyone who wants to come in. with a special prayer before you leave here today. So we love all the ways we do this. So together, let's go for it.
1, 2, and go. Collar spots. In the morning when I rise, in the morning when I rise, and before I close my eyes, and before I close my eyes. Anytime I'm in despair, anytime I'm in despair, I just say this little prayer, I just say this little prayer. God's light surrounds us, God's love enfolds us, God's power protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. When the cold winds start to blow, when the cold winds start to blow, and they beat upon your door, many nights will have their dawn. Hold this thought as you go on. Hold this thought as you go on. God's light surrounds us. God's love enfolds us. God's power protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. We all hear spirit call, we all hear spirit. It's a small world after all, it's a small world after all. Bound together in and through, bound together in and through. This one common simple truth, this one common simple truth. God's light surrounds us, God's love enfolds us, God's power protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And now together, let's do the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Wherever you are, God is. Wherever we are, God is. Yeah, we won't do it again. Yeah, we won't do it again. This is too weird. Yeah, I think so.